Good morning, folks, and welcome to another great edition of Money Truth Moments with our very own great money truth expert, Judy Copenbarger. How are you?
I'm awesome. I am having a best time ever. It is summertime. The birds are chirping and we've got our little hummingbirds that have flown from the nest and we're just having a great time. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I always love Tuesday morning to wake up bright and early, get your exercise done, get your coffee, and now ready to talk some things that are going to change my wallet and my life. I'm sure a lot of folks can relate to that. So,
Awesome. We always need that.
absolutely. And folks, if you're just joining us, please follow Judy at judycopenbarger.today. Today, we're going to be talking about vacation memories, not vacation debt. And this is going to be a great episode. You're going to learn how to budget for vacations and avoid the travel spending mistakes that we all make, and also create memorable experiences while protecting that financial future for you. So, what do you say we get started?
And let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. All right, folks. So let me ask you, Judy, really quick. Why do vacations often cost far more than we originally planned?
Well, because we don't think about the money part. We think about where are we going? What exciting adventures are we going to have? We don't really think about, what is my limit or what should I spend or what's the outcome I want? And that is the thing. It's the mindset and it's planning. What is the outcome that I'm looking for? And we're going to talk a little bit about how to make that happen. But I think that's the problem. I mean, that's the problem that people have. They get back and go, oops, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. And it's like, I wish I hadn't to spend that much. We didn't have to do that, but here we are. So let's avoid that.
And that actually leads me to a follow-up question is, and the reality is, why do we believe, right, that vacations have to be expensive in order for it to be meaningful? We have that
I
mindset.
know. I think it has to do with keeping up with the Joneses. Well, my friend got to go to Florida. Well, my friend got to go to Paris. It's like, so what? My friend had got to do a Disney cruise, whatever. So what? That good for them. And this is what we're doing. Right. But I think there's something about that. A lot of that, if you're the parent or the grandparent in the situation, a lot of that comes from you. What is your attitude about keeping up with other people or one upping or, doing as good at or not wanting to be judged or shamed? Are we transferring attitudes to our kids about those expectations? It's worth looking at, right?
Yeah, and you know what? And it's true. That old saying, it begins at home, right? So what are we doing that we're changing to help our kids out? And I think for a lot of us too, it's just the way we were brought up is if we knew now, well, if we would have known then what we know now, it would have been a whole different ballgame, right? I think every
Absolutely.
every parent and every generation we've always tried, but we always want to do better. And this is, I think, a great part of what we're doing this show as well too, because you always have us look at have it in a different way. You're looking at it from a different perspective that we're so like tunnel vision on. Okay, well, so and so said I need to do this, so and so that I need to do that. But I think it's definitely very helpful.
Absolutely.
So, in your journey, as you talk to folks over the years, what vacation spending mistakes do you most often see?
Not planning. Not planning. I think it's just that, kind of knee jerk. Oh, here's an opportunity. Let's do that while we're in town, as we're passing through. We don't want to miss that. But what it really comes down to is you're trying to create a memory. You're trying to create a connection. You're trying to, have a good time and get away from your regular routine. It's vacation, right? It's a vacation. And so that doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money. But I think without thinking about it, it's easy to do. Well, here's something we could do. Here's something we could buy. Here's a place we could go. Here's a ticket. I think it's easy to do that if you don't plan ahead and just focus on what's the outcome that we want. Is it the connection or the memories or, what is it that we really want? Is it the emotionalness?
Mhm.
That's a different show, right? But what is it about the experience that makes it valuable? And does it require money for it to be valuable? And I would say the answer is no most of the time. I mean, there's some things we want to do that have a ticket. You got to pay for it. But there's a lot of things, when I look back at some of the memories I have with my parents, when I was younger and with our kids when they were younger, it's amazing the things that come to mind that have nothing to do with being Disneyland or being, in some fancy hotel somewhere. We did all those things too. But most of the good memories are around a campfire or at a beach or taking a walk around the neighborhood or at a park. And those things are all free, right? For the most part, you might have to pay to park, but uh, pretty much free. And it's just the connection that we had and the fun that we were having and creating on our own. It's okay to be creative. And if you need to save money, there's so much value in doing that. Doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah, and the other thing, as you're talking about this, is the little simple things that bring a lot of pleasure that we don't really take advantage of, right? Or
Yeah.
we get too lazy that, hey, the beach is just down 5 miles away, and why not just take a quick drive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want to bring up the B word for
Oh,
budget. So I'm
not
going to
the D
say,
word.
so I'm going to say, how should families create a realistic spending plan for vacations? I didn't use
Yeah,
the B word.
you avoided the B word, budget.
I
Some people
avoided
call
the
it
B word.
budget, right? It's a spending plan. So, yeah. So I don't know why people don't do that more. It helps me just to have guidelines, even if it's not like we're only going to spend $120, but a guideline, let's keep it under a couple $100 or whatever, depending on where you're going. Maybe it's under 5,000, whatever. But planning ahead, just having the expectations set, making sure that whoever is on this vacation with you, the kids, the cousins, the whoever, your partners, whoever they are, make sure they have their top couple of things they want to do, what they want to accomplish, or the adventure they want to have, or things that they want to tick off and say, oh, that was the best vacation ever. What are those things? And chances are they're not going to be big ticket items. There might be, like, I want to do the highest roller coaster at the best theme park, that's going to cost you something. But it might be that it's that thrill they want to have. It's that story that they want to tell, the memory that they want to create, right? And it might not take money to do some of those things. Maybe that some of those things you'll table for another vacation later when there's more expendable cash. But why not just get everybody's ideas of the perfect vacation, the perfect experiences, and then make that list and do that. Find creative ways to do that without the big ticket items. It can be done. Done it. It can be done.
And folks, if you're just joining us, welcome. Make sure you're following Judy at judycopenbarger.today. Watch the beginning of the show because we are talking today about vacation memories, not vacation debt. And I think it's crucial that you guys pay attention on this and share it also with family members too, because summer is here, folks. A lot of kids are out of school already and they're just, aching to get out there and do something. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. So as we continue to talk about this, because I know we always run out of time on great subjects, how can families focus on the experiences versus the expense? Right. And I know that's hard.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of connection over consumption. If that's kind of one of your mantras, that might be helpful. Memories over purchases. And this is where, the love languages, Gary Chapman's work from way back. I think he started back in the 70s. There's all kinds of books out on it, but love languages, languages of love. And there are different things that we respond to when we're communicating love, right? When we're connecting with people. Some people like the gifts, they like the things. Some people like touch. Some people like just quality time, just be with me, be in the room with me, just have that experience. So there's different ways that we express love. If it's a thing, for example, let's say you have a child or a spouse that they like the tangible things, you can buy a dozen roses or you can pick a flower on the way home, right? One of them costs some money, one of them doesn't. There are ways to experience and get the release and the connection without having to spend money. If it's quality time, that's easy. That's always free. Hey, take a walk with me. Let's watch a show together. Let's go flower picking, whatever it is. Oh, flower picking is kind of a joke at our house. So one of my daughters does not like hiking, mountaineering, jogging, anything that she has to do extra that she doesn't want to do it, right? If you have to hike to get there, bad word. It's H word, right? It's kind of like, I don't like to say budget. She's not going to say hike. So we were in Colorado several years ago and I wanted to go do the H word, with that family and show them where I used to hike when I was a teenager. And I'd take my dog and my goat and I'd go up the mountainside and there are wildflowers up there. It's way up in the mountains at about 10 or 11 elevation, 1,000 elevation. And
Wow.
so like, well, let's just go flower picking. So we got our baskets and we did pick flowers and it was like amazing. But we were hiking, jumping over trees, hiking up all around for hours. And she kept saying, we're hiking, saying, we're not hiking, we're flower picking. You're hiking, we're going hiking. No, we are just flower picking. The flowers are right over there. So we did that for hours, poor thing. So anyway, that's just a side little joke of flower picking is just kind of a funny thing at our house. But the thing is, it's free, right? Grab a basket, grab a box, and go pick flowers. Go do something in nature that connects you, that gives you a memory and a story and an abundance of connection. Where you just go back and go, oh, remember that story? So things like that. Another thing comes to mind that was free when it comes to like being out in nature. I was on a trip across the southern states with my mom and dad. My brothers were all up and married out of the house. I was the last one at home. So I was probably, I don't know, a teenager, older teenager. So the three of us were driving across and we went across Texas and then we did Alabama, Louisiana, all the southern Gulf states. We were driving across studying barbecue. My dad was quite the barbecue guy. And so when we were driving back from Florida to Colorado, we had to cut through, for like 3 days, you drive through Texas. But when we first got to the border of Texas, we stopped in this little town, beautiful little town, one of the flyover little towns nobody ever goes through. You go to, right? And it was Orange, Texas. And I just remember pulling in and it was just green and there was a park with a big, beautiful pond and geese in there and maybe swans, but I remember ducks. And we just sat at the edge of that pond in this big open city park. Well, it was small park, but for city standards, but it was just so beautiful. And I don't know why, but I have such a great memory of being there. We didn't do anything. We didn't picnic. We didn't, spend any money, but I have such a great memory of being there that day, decades ago. So I can't tell you why, but there was some connection, some memory, something that connected in my brain. This is good. I'm in a safe, happy place. That's what we want to create. That's the outcome. When I'm thinking about creating memories, that's the outcome I want. Remember that good time we had, that silly time we had, that adventure that we had, whatever it is, doesn't have to cost money. So when you're thinking about a vacation, what are the expectations people have? What do they want to have as an outcome? Look for the emotional payoffs. Do they want to be happy? Do they want to be restful? Do they want to be adventurous? Do they want to be risky? Do they, what do they want to get from it? And, all your kids are going to have different personalities. You and your spouse probably are not built identically, right? There's going to be different things that resonate with each of you. And if you can find activities that hit all of those spots, all those love languages and all those personality payoffs, that's great. If you can plan a day like that, that's great. But it just takes a little thinking, a little planning, and doing that without a big fat spending plan attached to it can really make a difference if that's something that's important to you. We need to save money this time or we don't have a lot of extra. If that's important to you, great. Now, if you have plenty of money, you've got $20,000 to blow on a vacation, go have a good time, right? You can still hit all those things, but just be mindful of the expectations and the payoffs that everybody has. So at the end of the vacation, everybody goes, best ever, right? You don't want to spend 20 grand on a trip to, London and then come back and everybody goes, yeah, it was all right. Right?
Sure.
You want everybody to go, oh my goodness, I loved going on the Channel. I love getting on the metro or whatever they call it there. Don't mind the gap. It's not the metro there. It's called whatever it's called. The tube. And so when you're planning your vacation, make sure everybody knows what they want to get and then make sure they get some of that. Sound good?
Yeah, no, that sounds fantastic. And as you're talking about some of these easy things to do on vacation, it just reminded me too. I remember as a kid too, going out the very first time I went to Paris Lake, right? It's here locally in Southern California. But as a kid, going from Downey to there, it seemed like forever. Like we were going into another state and, because you're little and you don't realize it. But that was like probably one of the coolest things I saw as a kid. I remember that. We also had a local lake as well too. Actually, it was more like it was a park, but it wasn't a massive lake. But I remember now that we're talking about this, yeah, we used to hang around there too, have some great memories. And for the little ones, there's always great adventures, and also joining the library. There's programs where they take them out, they go visit the
Mhm.
local zoo, or they'll bring in local pets and stuff like that. That you can create these little mini experiences, quote unquote, like vacation experiences for the little ones, and they don't judge, so which is great.
It's so good. It's so good. All those little memories. Yeah. Yeah. I think we underestimate the parks, the national parks, the libraries, all the free stuff, all the community things, the community activities that are offered in the summer programs. People should take advantage of those more. Yeah. They always say when the city planners are talking, they're like, why don't more people come? Why is our attendance not where it could be? I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe they don't know or don't think of it in time. But there's so much good, free, and inexpensive stuff out there to do, especially this time of year, vacation. And all you have to do is go wherever you're going to go. If you're going to grandma's house or, a new city you're exploring, do what the locals do. They don't spend a lot of money. Most of us don't spend a lot of extra money. We're not on vacation every day. We just do what normal people do. Go where they go. Talk to the locals and find out, what's your favorite place to go get coffee? Or where do you like to go get brunch, when you have a couple of hours? What's your favorite park? What's your favorite museum here? Do you have some history here? In Waco, Texas, that's where Dr. Pepper was born. And so they have a Dr. Pepper museum. Well, that's kind of a cool cultural thing, just local thing. Every city and every town has a history and they have stuff like that. And what a wonderful thing to explore. There might be a small cost to museums. Most of them have free days too, if you ask. What day of the month is free day? I can bring my whole family. But you can go and just learn and have a great time and explore. A lot of them are very hands-on for kids, things to climb and touch and look and smell. So there's so many things to do. Vacations don't have to break the bank.
All right, folks, and we are at the tail end of the show, and you guys know what that means. All right, so monetary challenge. Are we calling this our vacation challenge? What are we calling this today?
Let's just call it a vacation challenge. And it's going to be
right.
a financial one. So I would just challenge you, if you've got a trip coming up, put a little thought to connecting the trip with the spending plan, with the budget, the B word. Just create a small travel or vacation spending plan. What do we want to accomplish? Top 5 things. What do we want to spend? Here's what would be the lowest we want to spend, the highest we want to spend, and we're going to try to hit right in the middle. Is our goal to not have anything end up on credit cards, or maybe use a credit card, pay them off as soon as we get home to get the points, right? But what memories are we trying to create? The things we want to do, the memories we want to create, and how much we want to spend. Write that down. Pen to paper is valuable. I mean, there's something about connecting the brain through the hand down to the paper that really makes it work. So do a written strategy, a written financial strategy around your simple vacation budget spending plan. Write it down. That's your challenge.
All right, folks, you've heard the challenge. Please make sure you're following Judy at judycopenbarger.today. Don't forget, we're here every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. with a replay at 8 p.m. on Thursdays. And remember, today's episode, Vacation Memories, not Vacation Debt. Make sure you share it with folks, or if you just tuning in, make sure you watch this from the beginning. You're going to want to stick around, because next week we have another fantastic episode, and I'll give you a teaser about the hidden cost of summer and expenses for families. So you want to learn more, you better stick around. And the last party words, Judy.
Make it a great day. Plan a really fun vacation or a staycation. If you can't get away, make it awesome. Create some memories and have a great time. Bless you.
Take care, guys.